Welcome to the program entitled Competing Against the Big Box Stores. Now, I should mention that this is a summarized version of a workshop with the same name. And although the actual workshop was designed to deal with a big box store competition, it will work just as well for any competition of any size. So my goal is to make you better and more competitive in your business today than you were yesterday. Now, whether you're new to business or a seasoned business veteran, I'm sure you would agree that the big box competition can be fierce and intimidating, and it's taken dollars from your pocket. In fact, it's been directly responsible for tens of thousands of smaller businesses going under and closing their doors. It's also important to be aware that the competition's objective, especially the big guys, is to take sales away from you. In fact, nothing makes them happier than to put you out of business in order to maximize their profits. That is why they are often referred to as the small business killers. Now, this may sound harsh, but it's very true. So without any further delay, let's get started. There are basically 10 strategies, or we'll call them steps to success, that we're going to be looking at in order to maximize your ability to become more competitive. So let's have a look at step 1 to success. So the first step is to check out your competition. In other words, analyze your competition. Here you almost have to become a bit of a private investigator and want to gather as much information about all your competitors as possible. You want to ask yourself the question, what are some of their strong points? As well as what are some of their weak points? And believe me, every business will have some strong points as well as some weak points. This is an accepted law in business. Now, if we look at this from a battlefront perspective, the side that generally has better intelligence has a distinct advantage. So what are you going to be looking for? Well, pretty much everything, but we're going to cover a few things. Naturally, look at price and ask the question, are all the prices lower, or do only the high-profile items sell for less? Now, here it's important to be aware that not everyone makes their buying decision solely on price. There are other factors. So look at things like the store layout, as well as the selection of products. How are things displayed? Is there a good level of cross-merchandising? What is the signage like? Are the premises clean? Are the shelves well stocked? What is the product mix like? As well as the quality of the products. Examine and evaluate the level of customer service. Is it exceptional? Is the staff knowledgeable? Are they friendly? What are the store hours like? As well, look at the brands that they carry. How are they viewed in the community? Are they a good corporate sponsor? Look at how they advertise, when and where and how often, along with what sort of promotions do they offer. And is there anything extra that they may be offering, for example, free delivery or extended warranty or attractive payment plan, or how is their return policy? So when you're checking out your competition, look at the big things as well as the little things and do this on a regular basis. Now, it's important to take all this information and see if you can take their strong points, in other words, what they're doing well, and improve on it. Now, I fully realize that sometimes it can be extremely difficult when it comes to price. Now, it's also valuable to recognize your competition's weaknesses, and for a couple reasons. First, you want to make certain that you do not fall into the same trap as your competition. As well, number 2, you want to use their weak point and make it one of your strong points. Now, here's a quick note. Sam Walton, who's a founder and developer of Walmart, used to use this strategy all the time. He would check out his competition on a continual basis. So let's move on to the second step to success. Now, once you've taken a good look at your competition and analyzed their strengths as well as their weaknesses, it is now time to do the very same thing for your own business. Check out your own business and analyze your business's strengths as well as weaknesses. Now, at times this can be an incredibly difficult thing to do. Too often business owners can lose focus on problematic areas of the business and areas that need improving because they get wrapped up in the daily tasks. Someone who's been involved in a business for an extended period of time can become comfortable with their surroundings. They may not notice the dust on the back shelves or the clutter in the corner or the faded signage in the window or perhaps less than optimal customer service. So have a look at your own business the way you checked out the competition's business and look at these factors. Now, to effectively evaluate your business, it's a good idea to try putting yourself into your customer's shoes. And brainstorming with employees and customers can be a great way of achieving this goal. Remember the saying, if 2 heads are better than 1, well, can you imagine 4 or 5 people working together on a common goal? As well, questionnaires and surveys from your customers can be helpful in learning more about your strengths and your weaknesses. Now, that brings us to the third step to success. So let's quickly look at the importance of being unique and different. So ask yourself this question, is there something that you could be doing that will differentiate yourself from the rest of the competition? Something that will make you stand out of the crowd and be noticed? Perhaps even something that will gain you some free publicity. Also consider carrying a slightly different brand or perhaps an exclusive line of products. Now, naturally, this may not always be possible, but stretch your mind and perhaps brainstorm with others to see if there's an angle that you may have not explored in the past. Now, there's a great site online that we found called Map Marketing that gives you some samples of businesses that successfully market outside the box, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But the key here is to become unique and different from your competition to be successful. So let's have a look at the fourth step to success, and that is changing with the times by becoming more flexible and more adaptable. Never has there been such a major shift in things like customer purchasing habits or technology as there has been in the last decade. So this is a major advantage that you have over the big competition. By being smaller and more nimble, it is easier for you to change the way you do business very quickly. Now, it's important not to get caught up in doing the same thing just because you've been doing it for a long time. Remember, things do change. Now, although no one has a crystal ball to tell you exactly what will change in the future, keeping up to date with current events, technological events, especially in your particular field, will help. Attending trade shows, belonging to trade associations, getting extra training, along with reading online blogs and articles will give you an advantage. So let's have a look at the fifth step to success. So let's have a look at a technique that highly effective businesses and highly effective people have used for quite some time. I'm referring to something called the modeling technique. Modeling essentially means using other people's ideas and implementing them into your own business to make it even more successful. So here's how it works. Find a super successful business, preferably in your field, and use their best ideas. When you're traveling to different locations, make it a point of checking out similar businesses to see if they're doing something better or something different than you. Have a look at their website, look at their marketing strategies. Is there something innovative in how they operate their business? You can often get some great ideas by talking to other businesses' employees as well as their management team. Now here's a quick note. Sam Walton admitted coming up with very few ideas of his own. He, for the most part, copied the best ideas that were out there from multiple sources. Remember, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just take the wonderful, successful ideas that are out there. Now, sometimes you may need to remodify and adjust them to your needs, but modeling can be a great way of becoming better and more competitive in your business. Now, let's have a look at our sixth step, and it's a big one. It is serve your customer by providing excellent customer service. Now, I cannot stress the importance of this strategy. In most cases, this is an area that you can blow the competition, especially the big competition, out of the water. So often, the big competition focuses so much on price that they totally neglect this area. And this is great news for you and your business. Now, here's a quick lesson in human psychology. Every human being wants to feel important and valued. Essentially, everyone wants to feel good. Now, here's where you can come in. Make each and every customer have a positive, good experience every time where they feel like they're a valued individual. Now, if you can do this, you will build a strong, loyal following. Now, although currently you may be providing good customer service, let's see if we can take it to the next level. See if there are ways that you can go the extra mile. Now, once you can do this, word will spread very quickly, and word of mouth is still one of the best methods of promoting your business. And best of all, it's free. Now, for this to work, all your employees have to be on board in providing exceptional customer service. Now, why is this important? Well, in a recent survey, customer service is still considered a key factor to where people shop. Now, this brings us to our seventh step to success. Now, here's an area that small businesses rarely talk about, but I cannot stress the importance of getting a handle on minimizing your losses. Now, this is a real problem that plagues virtually every business and tends to get worse during tough economic times. Now, most losses, also called shrinkage, comes from shoplifting as well as employee theft. Now, there is a common myth out there that not my employees, they would never steal from me. But the reality is, if you have employees, there's a very good chance at least one of them, maybe more, is stealing from you. In fact, loss prevention experts estimate that the typical business will suffer losses between 2 to 8%, and this can really add up. So quickly do the math and calculate your own losses. So first, take your sales, this could be daily, monthly, or annually, and multiply it by 2%. Then do the exact same thing, but this time using the figure of 8%. Now generally, your losses will be somewhere between these two figures. Now, to compensate for this retail loss problem, many retailers now are adding an extra 5 to 7 cents on the dollar for a product. Now, can you see how this could lead to a problem? Now, this extra 5 to 7 cents can easily put your business out of range of being competitive. That is why it's so important to minimize your losses. The big box stores understand the detrimental effect that all forms of shrinkage, including shoplifting and employee theft, has on overall profits. That is why they take loss prevention very seriously. There's a common myth that loss prevention will cost a lot of money to put into place. Now, this no longer is the case. In fact, today loss prevention can be extremely affordable yet highly effective in minimizing retail shrinkage. Now, there are several online programs that have been shown to minimize both shoplifting and employee theft, as well as other forms of retail loss very quickly. and I do encourage you to check them out. Now, best of all, they are affordable even for the smallest business budget. In fact, there's been reported cases where these programs have paid themselves off in as little as 1 week just by the money saved through the prevention of theft. Now, this brings us to our 8th step to success. In this section, we're going to look at the need and the importance of becoming a skilled advertiser. Every business at some point in their business life will be advertising. Now, this could be in the newspaper or magazines, could be radio, could be television or the yellow pages, perhaps even on the internet. This could be a complex display ad or a simple classified ad. But the question is, are you getting maximum results from your advertising, or could you be getting better results? And when you are competing against other businesses, you want to get the best results possible. Now, this means you want to get your ad dollars working for you instead of you working for your ad dollars. Now, this doesn't mean to simply advertise more, but rather advertise more skillfully. There are businesses that advertise a great deal and still tend to struggle. And then there are other businesses that tend to give up on advertising because they spend all this money and are not getting good enough results. Now, we should point out that good, effective advertising can often be the only thing that can put a company back on a solid financial track. You see, advertising has the ability of getting the message out to thousands of people in a very short period of time. And advertising is a great method of bringing in new customers as well as reminding existing customers. I mean, think about it. Where would mega companies like these be had they not advertised? And the answer is very simple. Many of them probably would not be around today. In fact, there's a good reason why these companies invest money into advertising. So advertising can be a powerful tool in making you more competitive and successful, but it has to be done right. Now, there's a bit of an art to advertising. When it's done skillfully, it doesn't have to cost you a ton of money. You can get a small amount of money to start doing a big job for you. Now, this is especially true if you follow some of the basic advertising rules, for example, targeting your market, as well as the importance of a headline and how to develop powerful headlines, as well as telling your prospects exactly what you want them to do, along with using the psychology of the consumer. In other words, using certain words and phrases that will compel your potential customers to take specific action. If you have the time, take an advertising workshop in your area, perhaps in a community college. But if you don't have the extra time, look online, as there are some excellent online training programs. Now, one that we often recommend is called The Power of Advertising. It covers the 7 golden rules that large ad agencies use to advertise, as well as some of the common mistakes that small businesses make in advertising, mistakes that can cost them money. Now, this is a program that's effective, it's inexpensive, and can be completed in a very short period of time. So in order to be successful against any type of competition of any size, you must advertise and advertise skillfully. So moving right along, that brings us to our 9th strategy, or in other words, our 9th step to success. Continue to look at methods of better marketing your business and market it at every opportunity. It's important to understand that marketing goes well beyond just advertising. Marketing is best described as every activity aimed at attracting and satisfying customers. Now, whether you're using a newsletter or a phone campaign or a loyalty card, or perhaps allying yourself with other non-competing businesses or some other marketing idea, this all can make a positive mark on your business and make you more competitive. Some companies have become more competitive and successful by using social media like Twitter and Facebook. Keep an open mind for marketing ideas. Again, model other successful marketing ideas, or perhaps even do some brainstorming. And also consider marketing outside the box and include some non-traditional methods for promoting your business. And here we are, our 10th and final step to success. Now it's time to put it all together in a plan of action. Your plan will basically consist of the previous 9 steps that we talked about. Now, we suggest that you use a journal and write down your plan of action, your goals, and keep track of your progress. Remember, every successful battle always began with a good plan of action. Now, if this becomes a bit overwhelming, start with something simple. Perhaps walk into your competitor's store and look around. Perhaps take a simple advertising program that will quickly give you results. Or look at ways of keeping more money in your pocket by reducing losses. These are simple steps that you can take that will give you immediate results. And then from there, build on it. The key is to take a proactive approach in dealing with any competition of any size. At this time, I'd like to wish you all the success in the world, and if you'd like more information, please contact me at info@biztraining101.com. Also, check out the website businesstraining101.com for some of the training programs that we talked about in this program. As well, you'll find many other business training programs, some of which that are free.